The magic macronutrient. I actually used to make fun of this, but the data is clear. There is a magic macronutrient. It actually doesn't matter what your goal is. It's protein, and we're going to talk about the studies on protein, what it does for you. Regardless of your goal, this is something you should take seriously. Let's talk about protein. Let's get into it.
I mean, this is, if you've listened to the podcast for longer than 3 weeks, you've probably heard us hammer this, hammer this home. I mean, last night I had a phone call from Katrina's brother-in-law, who actually just recently stayed at the Park City House. So he was actually calling me and thanked me and said what an amazing stay it was. And he's like, "Hey, I wanted to get your thoughts too on my diet and this and that." And when I talk to family and friends, I think they always expect me to lay out like this
elaborate.
Yeah. And I go, listen, I'm gonna give you something that I know is difficult for people to do consistently, but it will radically change your body if you just trust me and do these things. Like he's following a Mass 15 program. So I've got the programming side. I know he's not doing worthless stuff. He's got good workout. It's like, all I want you to do is think about protein every day. Your goal is 200 grams of protein every day. And I don't want you to do it sometimes or occasionally or now and then. I think that's all you focus on. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even going to talk to you about calories. I'm not going to talk to you about anything else right now. Just focus on that. Because that in itself is, for most people, especially in America, is a huge challenge. Mm-hmm. Because we have sold everybody on these make-believe breakfast foods. Every restaurant serves you carbohydrates first. Yep. Mm-hmm. We eat all these sweets and desserts. We drink 900 calories on an average day of, Starbucks drinks and bullshit. And so it's really tough to go after protein-centric foods. And yet, if you just did that with some weight training, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah, so here's where we need to go with this, because where it gets muddy is when people see the RDA or they hear dietitians communicate this. And here's the truth. The average Westerner doesn't undereat protein. We don't. We're not missing essential protein for the most part. For the most part, people aren't not functioning properly. Their bodies aren't falling apart because they're not eating enough protein to do that. That's true. But there's a difference between what is essential and what is optimal. And it's a big difference when it comes to protein. It's a very big difference. If you're a 170-pound man working out and you get 65 grams of protein a day, you're fine. You're fine. But you're so far from optimal. You're so far from what your body will do when you double or triple that number for your body weight. And here's the crazy, this is why I said it was a magic macronutrient. This is where it gets wild, everybody. It doesn't matter what your goal is. Okay, so the data shows this, and our experience has shown us this as well, but the data also supports this. So let's start with fat loss, okay? Someone might be like, well, I thought I needed to eat less calories. Doesn't protein have calories? How does that possibly make sense? You're telling me that I need to eat more of something that's going to give me more calories, and yet I'm trying to lose body fat. That makes no sense. Well, here's how it works. So first, we'll talk about the studies that compare calorically equivalent diets, one being high protein in the context of what we mean when we say high protein. So not more than the RDA, but much more. What this looks like is about a gram of protein per pound of body weight in a person that's not obese. If you're really obese, use lean body mass. But for the average person, this is, we typically would say your target body weight. So you're a 170-pound man, you're going to chase 170 grams of protein a day, okay? When you compare two diets, same calories, one of them 170 grams of protein, the other one 70 grams of protein. So the difference would be the 70 gram of protein one might have more carbs and fats to make up the difference. Here's what we find. The higher protein diet results in more fat loss and more muscle gain or more muscle preservation, depending on where the calories are. In other words, the person trying to lose weight keeps more muscle because the protein's higher, which then results in better fat loss later on as well. Here's the second part to it. For most people, especially in the initial stages, especially in the first year or so, eating that much protein produces a tremendous amount of satiety. And so it naturally, I love things that naturally control calories. It's so hard when you're trying to lose body fat to eat less. You're hungry, cravings, you got to fight that all the time. We're surrounded by food. So easy to get.
It's the natural Ozempic.
What if I could get your calories down because your appetite goes down a little bit? Isn't that amazing? Hitting that high protein target does it. And that's just fat loss.
I love that you went this way, and I tied it to the conversation I had, because so this was it was a 45-minute plus drive last night. It was raining, and so I was in traffic, so it was a long conversation, and we went all over the place with cortisol and insulin and stress, and so like I gave like the simple advice, and then I broke down like all the science and the reason why it's this simple and why I want you to focus on this, and like at the end of the call, he was like, I don't know why it took me this long to call you. You've absolutely blown my mind in like 45 minutes with you. Would you do this? Would you have a call with my wife? I'm like, I'm going to blow your mind again. I'm like, the advice is exactly the same. The only difference is she needs to have about 130 to 140 grams instead of the 200 grams. And I want you to give her all this. I want you to tell her everything I just told you to do and why to do it and all the things. But the only difference is just have her focus on hitting 130 to 140 consistently every single day.
Because that's her target.
That's her target. Regardless if they had little bit different goals. He wants to build some muscle and this, that. She wants to reduce body. It's like the advice is exactly the same. And I said, and then listen, go do that for 30 to 60 days religiously. Don't miss. Make that a focus. Hit your workouts and just do that. And then I'm going to show you so much results, positive results, that I'll know if you did it, because you're going to come back to me going like, oh my God, my energy's up. I feel stronger. I can see my body changing even though the scale has it. You're both going to say that to me. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to give you another layer to this and like little tweaks and stuff like that. But just go do that.
That's the bulk.
For both of you, go do that.
That's right.
And he was just like, oh, okay.
Here's another one where because people will think fat loss, does it really apply? We covered that. Then people will say, does it apply to endurance? I just want stamina and endurance. And I heard that for endurance and stamina, I need a lot of carbohydrates. Now, it is true that carbohydrates are a preferred source of energy. So what I'm about to communicate does not mean don't eat carbs on top of this. Okay, so you still need the carbs for endurance and stamina. But does high protein, like the way we're communicating it, a gram of protein per pound of body weight, does that also benefit endurance athletes? Yes, it does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It does. The data shows this.
It's restorative.
And now how? Is it because I have more energy? I have more calories to burn? No. It's because your recovery is so much better. Yep. One of the challenges with any kind of exercise or training, especially endurance training.
Repetitive stress.
That's right. Endurance training is unique in the sense that to a limit, the more you do, because there's always a limit, right? But the more you do, the better. This is not true with strength training. Strength training is much more hit the signal, hit it right, build muscle. Endurance, of course, there's still a limit, but the more you can get away with, so long as you're not beating yourself up too much, the better your adaptation is in terms of endurance. This is why endurance athletes trade so much more than someone who's just trying to build strength and muscle. Okay, that's why that happens. But the limiting factor, oftentimes, and if you're listening, you know this, if you run marathons, you're a triathlete, or you're an athlete, you're water polo player, where you're just training your butt off, like what prevents you from training more is just you can't recover.
Yeah.
Bump your protein intake and watch it. I just had this, it just clicked with my brother-in-law. So he does jujitsu, and jujitsu is pretty intense. It's 2.5 hour class. An hour of that is your sparring, your grown men wrestling. Like it's tough. He's also got a job, and he's got 2 kids. One of them is under the age of 4 months. And he's trying to go to jiu-jitsu 4 days a week and also do like 1 day a week of strength training. And he's always talking about, man, I'm sore, I'm stiff, I'm hurting myself. And so I said, listen, either you dramatically reduce the amount of training you do, or you do what I tell you with protein. He's like, well, aren't I going to gain body fat? I'm trying to get leaner. I said, and so we've had this conversation over and over again. So he finally did it. And a week in, this is 7 days in, he's texting me. He's like, dude, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much more energy I have, how much stronger I am. He's like, I feel like I'm getting leaner. And
I thought it was a placebo at first, right?
Yeah, dude. He's like, I don't know if it's a placebo or whatever. Yeah. By the way, this was a weekend. We're now 3 weeks in. He's totally sold. He's like, what a huge
makes a huge difference.
And the reason why he was losing stamina, endurance in his training was because he just wasn't able to recover because he didn't have the building blocks for recovery, which come from
Oh, you're
protein.
still breaking down tissue.
That's
And
right.
That's the thing. And like joints, ligaments and tendons, everything else benefits from those amino acids and protein. I mean, it's just part of the rebuilding process.
The good news is the message is getting out.
Yeah.
Before you walked in the studio, I was just sharing with Justin. I saw a commercial last night watching basketball from Chipotle, and Chipotle now has a high protein menu.
Yeah, wow.
So
and,
rad.
and it's dedicated to 36, 42, and 60 grams of
Wow.
protein meal.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
4 programs, 50% off. MAPS Starter, MAPS Transform, MAPS Anabolic, and MAPS Performance. They're all half off. Go to mapsfitnessproducts.com. Use the code New Year 50 for that discount. Back to the show.
All right, real quick. If you love us like we love you, why not show it by rocking one of our shirts, hats, mugs, or training gear over at mypumpstore.com. I'm talking right now. Hit pause, head on over to mypumpstore.com. That's it. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And so you're seeing these companies pop up all I mean, Chris Power is an example of this, a new partner of ours that's, high protein pretzels. Like,
Yeah.
so the message is getting out on the value of protein, and you're starting to see more and more companies.
I'm glad
do
you
this.
brought up Chris Power. We're going to put a pin in that and go back to it because at the end of this, we're going to talk about the challenges with hitting protein. And I think Chris Power is a great, because,
It solves, yes.
and again, I'm not going to, we won't go here yet, but I will say this. What we're saying is a lot harder than you think. So people here listening to this right now are like, oh, cool, I'm going to go, like getting it from Whole Foods is very
challenging.
Very difficult. Okay, so we talked about endurance and recovery. We talked about fat loss, muscle building. Probably don't need to spend a lot of time here. This is where it's sold the most. But it makes a huge difference when it comes to muscle building. Big difference, everybody. If you're strength training and you're the typical female consuming 60 grams of protein a day and the typical male eating 90 grams of protein a day, and you suddenly start hitting protein targets with your same strength training routine, it will feel like you're taking steroids all of a sudden. It will literally feel like, what is happening to my body? Yeah. It's, in other words, it's not subtle. It's a big difference in strength and muscle gain, and over 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, massive visible changes. For muscle building, it makes a huge, huge difference.
It's such a huge difference. This is why I said to him the exact same advice. And I said, I'll know when you call me back in 30 to 60 days if you took it or not. Because I know the response of it. And I'll know if you were inconsistent with it.
Yeah.
I'll know if you had some days you hit, you didn't have it, because it won't be so profound.
Make a big impact.
But if you religiously hit that and you stay consistent with he was already consistent. He's been training for a year, and he's like, that's why he was coming to me, because like, I've been training for a year, I'm not seeing any results.
I got it, yeah.
Right? So I'm like, here's the program, that's taken care of, I know that. Stick to that, which, by the way, reduced his volume significantly, right? He was training 6 days a week, hour and a half, 2 hours in the gym every single day. Yeah. Way too much. Put him on a MAPS 15 protocol, said, don't do anything more, and explained why all that, and said, hit your protein intake, and then I will know if you do it. Because the results that you will feel and see will be profound in just 30 to 60 days. And then I'll give you the next layer.
It's wild. So just speaking from personal experience, I know this. I'm in this fitness space. I've been communicating it for years. I've been training people for years. I never consumed a low protein diet, but for a long time, I would say I probably averaged, it's still considered high protein, about 150 grams a day. At one point, it was limited by gut health. I got that solved relatively recently, I'd say over the past maybe couple years. This is the first time I've ever consistently meaning every single day, eaten my body weight in protein. So I'm eating 220 grams of protein every single day right now, sometimes a little more, sometimes around 230. Oh my gosh. The difference is from 150 to 230, and and by the way, my calories were still high before. I've actually swapped out some of my other macros for the protein because it does hammer your appetite, because I feel it. I eat the protein, I'm like, oh my God, I barely want any of this rice, type of deal. The difference in my training is insane. First of all, this is one that I didn't realize, I have less pain, which makes sense because it's a recovery thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
My joints feel better. The insertion points of my muscles, which can sometimes get stressed if I start lifting really heavy. It's not really happening anymore. When I'm training, I built muscle, that's for sure. I think I gained like 4 pounds of lean body mass if I had to guess.
That's funny you say that. Yeah, because I noticed that too, but I attribute it because I know when I increase my water intake, that has a similar effect with pain, but like the protein for sure when in recovery, it makes a big difference.
Early days of the podcast, we used to keep this ongoing tally of Adam right, Sal right type of situation here.
Here we go.
I'm going to bring this back because
back to the beginning.
This is something I've been screaming on the podcast forever. And of all of us, I'm the guy who tracks,
repeat it a million times.
who tracks like crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
And I know that, and like all of us in here, we know the benefits of protein. We go after this and that. Yeah. But every time I go to track, I go, damn, I am still not hitting optimal numbers.
Yeah.
And when I get up to optimal numbers, it is a radical difference. I build way more muscle. I recover way better.
Sleep better.
Yes,
sleep better.
But it's hard. It is hard to do it consistently day in and day out.
It's also, and by the way, we're speaking in the context of you also exercise, okay? Because of course you could throw extra protein.
You just sit on the couch and just eat.
Yeah, and there's probably some benefit, to it, but it's really largely overstated unless you're also strength training or working out. Okay,
Sure.
so I got to make sure I say that because you got a bunch of couch potatoes. Just suddenly,
I don't think that's a lot of. I think that's a very small. Even though I have heard of some people that listen to the podcast that don't exercise, but it's very rare. Yeah. I think most people are actively
It'd be a weird choice for them to listen to.
It also helps with longevity. And so the data on this is clear as well. As you get older, more protein becomes even more important because it improves frailty. Yeah. So as you get older, besides, the main things, heart disease, cancer, all that kind of stuff, frailty is a big problem.
Sure.
And strength training, you got to do it. Protein amplifies the hell out of it. And it makes a big difference around longevity. But now there's challenges around this. Because if you're listening to this and you've never done it consistently, you might have done it a day here, a day there, but like do it every single day because this is what you got to do. You got to be consistent with it. Listen, it's not easy. It is not easy for me to get 220 grams of protein.
If it's not intentionally, like if you're not thinking about it constantly, you're behind. And it's pretty much a fact for me personally, and I know like anybody else I've told this to, and it's like, it seems like, oh, well, that's simple.
Dude,
and that's
I have
easy.
to eat 4 meals with 50 grams of protein plus throw a shake in. It's really hard. So where I'm going with this is A, try doing it with whole foods because this helps with body composition, kind of naturally controls calories. B, when you find it to be very difficult as you're tracking and you're missing by 30 or 40, this is why protein supplementation or protein snacks can be quite beneficial. You brought up earlier Chris Power. We'll bring them up. These are pretzels. They're very palatable. You eat one of these bags in a day. What is it, like 30 grams of protein almost?
20. So they range between, I think 26 is the lowest to 29.
Yeah. I'm
eating a bag or 2 every day right now. Just because it's so convenient and easy. It's easy for me while I'm driving to and from. That's it's not messy. It's like, and for me to be able to snack on something and I don't know if you guys are this way, but when I'm aggressively going after my protein, I don't find a lot of times where I'm actually hungry. So I have to I have to find times where, hey, you know what?
It's work.
Yeah, I'm not hungry enough to sit down and eat a steak and rice meal right now, but I could snack on some pretzels. That'll give me an extra 26 or 28 grams of protein. Yeah. So that's what I find myself too, because to your point, when you are so protein centric, it's very satiating. And if I'm in build mode right now, and so in order for me to do that, I've got to train getting those extra grams of protein in, and even when I'm not quote unquote hungry. And so having a salty snack that I can eat while I'm driving between meals and stuff like that has been huge for me. So what
flavor are you doing, by the way?
So originally the hot ones, but the hot ones I need something to wash it down with. So those aren't the best for driving. But so sesame was what I had yesterday. And then the green ones, which are like, I think, sea salt.
Oh, yeah.
Sea salt's
I haven't had one I haven't really liked. So even
they hit it out of the ballpark.
They're good. Yeah. They're all really, really good. So I don't know. I'm toggling between the sea salt one and then there's the purple one, which I forget what the name. I got to remember the names of all the
everything bagel.
Everything. Yes,
that one's good.
The everything one and then the sea salt one are becoming my new favorites. I still like the jalapeno ones, but they got a kick to them. So if I don't have something to wash them down with, like my mouth will be on fire.
What's interesting too about this is, you hear a lot of talk about stabilizing blood sugar, insulin sensitivity. Protein has a really interesting effect on that. It's quite remarkable. You eat a high protein diet, you eat, first of all,
first thing in the morning.
Let's say you're going to eat garbage. I'm not advocating this, okay? So this is not what I'm telling you to do, but they've done studies on this. I'm about to eat garbage food. I'm about to have donuts. But right before I eat the donuts, I eat 30 grams or 40 grams or 50 grams of whole natural food-based protein. So I eat that first, then I eat the donuts.
You'll eat half the donuts.
Not only will I eat half, but let's say I eat the same amount as
blood sugar doesn't go crazy.
Blood sugar doesn't go as crazy.
Yeah, but you won't. You won't.
No,
You won't.
also in real life.
I'll bet my last dollar.
No, you're right.
If you go
That's
in,
real life, right?
Yeah, in real life, if you go in and you say, because I used to have to do this. Like, so when I finally learned that I was way under eating protein, and that was what was keeping me the 180-pound kid who couldn't build any muscle with all the movement I do. I was like, okay, I'm not getting enough protein, and I'm eating too much junk food is what was happening. So I was like, okay, I gotta go get the protein first. Then I get the protein, and I would give myself that permission to have the donuts, to have the milkshake, to do things like that. But oh boy, it was so hard to drink or eat or do that thing that is super palatable after I had that high protein. So it's for the hard gainer. It's difficult to do that. And if you're the person who struggles with weight, it's one of the best hacks and strategies to maintain your weight.
Well, so what happens with this is if you did chase a bulk or a cut, okay, let's say you just hit your target number. Let's say, okay, my target body weight's this is grams of protein, whole natural foods. Here's what kind of happens. This is what I've experienced with clients, and this is the feedback we've gotten with our trainers. Is that without tracking your calories, you're just eating you're eating whole natural foods, eating the protein first, your strength training. Your calories naturally go up and down, and what dictates your appetite is if your body's building or losing body fat. And so you actually get this nice body composition change. Not these big dramatic swings, but rather over time, I get leaner, build muscle. I get leaner, build muscle because your appetite is driven by your training, by your strength training, which is quite remarkable. And I'll take it a step further. If the average person did nothing else but just did that, stuck to whole natural foods, we would solve obesity. It would solve it without them having to worry about anything complicated. And I got to track this and count that.
Right.
It makes that big of a difference, everybody. It's crazy. And again, for me, who's done this for as long as I have, I can't believe the difference between 150 to 170 grams of protein to 220. Like the difference in my training is it's silly. That's the word I want to use. It's actually quite silly.
No,
Speaking of silly,
another point for me.
Have you got? Yeah, you got it, dude. Adam won South.
It's been a long time since we did that tally. And hearing you say that right now, I'm like, man, I remember saying this for a long time to this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's so true.
Hey, do you might know this story?
Let's hear it.
Do you know the story of FedEx and how they almost went bankrupt?
Yes. Okay.
This is the craziest.
And he went and he gambled.
Bro,
he put it on roulette. You knew this story. Yes, of course. Yes.
Bro, I'm gonna read it.
Roulette.
Yes, he put it on. He put it on black or red or whatever.
This.
Yeah, it's a crazy story.
This is like, I don't even know if this is good advice. I mean, I don't think
it's not good advice.
I don't think you should do this as a CEO,
good advice.
Dude. No, I'll read to you.
In fact, actually, Sal, I bet you this has happened a lot more times than we know about.
The opposite.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, people have heard this story and then been like, "Oh, like this is like their answer to solve their problem."
I mean, he put everything on the line. So, 1973, FedEx was losing $30,000 per day. They had $5,000 in the bank and a $24,000 fuel bill due on Monday. Almost 400 employees were about to lose their jobs. So that's what was happening at this moment. Let me get this to come up again. So this CEO is like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this company to come out? Let me pull it up again because it froze. So here's what happened. They lost, prior to this, $29 million in 26 months. He asked his employees to hold off on cashing their paychecks. Just, hey guys, like, please hold off.
Asking?
I'm going to figure this out.
God.
Pilots were using their own credit cards to fuel their planes, hoping to be reimbursed later.
Oh my God.
Friday, they said, hey, look, if your fuel bill isn't paid, by Monday, your planes aren't going to fly. So what he did is he went to, by the way, he created the idea for FedEx in his econ class, got a C on it. So he talks about this. And he's like, my professor, he was right, dude. I can't do this. By the way,
C students are the best entrepreneurs.
This guy apparently was a badass. So he was in the Marine Corps. He survived, childhood arthritis as a kid. He did 2 tours in Vietnam. He's like, I'm not going down without a fight. So he literally withdrew the company's remaining funds and went to Vegas, dude.
Oh my God.
And he played blackjack.
Oh, it was blackjack. I thought he put it all on black.
Blackjack, dude.
Blackjack, okay.
And this is, so he tells a
I
story.
wonder if that's better odds.
He would win a few hands, lose a few. At one point, he was up 35 grand. Then he lost almost all of it, but he ended on top. By Sunday night, he turned the money into $27,000. He paid the fuel bill, kept the planes flying for one more week, and then ended up getting, within weeks, got an investor to give him $11 million. Of course, now they're a massive company.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, what a great story.
That could have gone bad.
What a psychotic week.
like
For,
So
Can you imagine that?
I can't remember what I was watching on Netflix, but it happens all the time the other way.
Oh, yeah. dude.
You don't see it. Where
That's not a good strategy.
Yeah, then he gets in trouble
sounds
for
like
embezzling and all
bankrupt
this
city.
other shit
Yeah.
that happens. So I have a update. When you shared the squatter guy,
The squatter hunter?
I just got so. I mean, my business
Champion.
wheels, just start
He's
going
a
like,
champion.
this is a great business idea.
know, I
I mean, so I went down and like
were
looked.
psyched over it.
I looked more into his story and stuff like that. So listen to how. There's another layer to this. So why it's so difficult is the squatting is a civil thing, and so the cops can't. You're not breaking a law that they can literally do anything about. So it's like you have to take this to court,
Which is weird because they are breaking. They're breaking and entering. But
well,
whatever.
but that's the part they can't prove. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where this gets all. So a large percentage of these people that squat like this are also ex-criminals or have done other things like that, and so a lot of times they're on parole. So one of the ways he expedites this is he brings guns to the house. So he gets the landlord to rent one of the rooms to him legally, signs, and he rents one of the rooms, and he brings guns to the house. Then he calls the cops because if you're on parole, you can't be anywhere near
So he plays their game and uses laws against them too.
Yeah, and then the cops actually can remove him and arrest him.
Wonderful.
Well, how brilliant is that? So that's hack one right there. It's just like there's like a good, I can't remember what the percentage was, but it's a
odds
high
are they're
percentage
criminals.
of these squatters have criminal records or are on parole. And so he's like, if they're on parole, I've got weapons that I am allowed to legally have, brings them in, rents the room. He has his guns in his house. They no longer can be in the same house as those weapons, and they're legally can get removed now. Isn't that brilliant?
I love that.
I know.
I just think it's so crazy that we have laws that make it hard to kick someone who's out of your house illegally.
Yeah.
I think that's so crazy.
And protect burglars from like invading your house. Like,
You know what? This
give
is
me a break.
this is such a win though for me for humans. Because for every stupid law and stupid thing that we do, someone smarter comes around and finds how to use that bullshit against you, or a loophole, or somebody who takes advantage in business. Somebody else goes like, let me create a business that will just bankrupt that business by you know what I'm saying? Like, sooner or later, even bad.
Sometimes it takes a while. But
It does. It feels like that one took a while because you've heard so many horror stories of squatters, and it's like, watch this continue to go viral, and people learn and figure this out. And now as a landlord, you're like, oh, I'm just going to my uncle who's got this huge gun collection. I'm going to rent a room to him. He's going to show up there, and if those people are on parole, they're out like that. And then your only hard one is if someone is not on parole. But I mean, the percentage likelihood of someone's willing to do something like that probably done other shady stuff in their life.
Something so rewarding, and like you see these videos too when they catch like a lot of the fraud overseas where they're like, dude, the call centers.
Oh, I love those.
And they hijack their cameras, they hijack their computers.
Love those.
Yeah. And they show them everything and who's there. And
they
like,
freak out.
Yes. And I personally just love that because it's just like, dude, these people are literally taking advantage full on knowing that they're ripping and stealing. And it's like there's no recourse.
Yeah.
It's like we just need recourse. We need all this to come back.
There's lots of videos of people that make like fake delivery boxes.
Yes,
that
and they blow up.
They like explode like blue paint.
The bikes,
like
The bike stealing ones are the bike stealing ones are.
Of course, there's gonna be people that get mad because they get hurt. But hey, man, play stupid games.
These are the good things on the internet. I feel like these are the good.
I mean,
things.
I feel bad when it's like some like because sometimes you'll see like some like homeless dude that looks like he's not well, you know, like I could feel bad for that.
Sure.
But like the guys, like the people that drive up, they get out of the car and take your package.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, you know, they rig the package. So like one dude rigged this package to blow up fart spray and blue paint.
Yeah.
And it like waits till they're in the car. So the car will start to take off and you see, poof.
But if there's no
And they'll be like, ah.
yeah,
And I'm
if there's
like, yes,
no
dude.
consequences or deterrent, you invite it.
Yeah.
And this is what we see all the time living in this state. We see what that result is. And it just becomes a number that is insane. And now it's like, oh, we can't do anything about it. Well, you know, we invited it.
Well, this squatter hunter thing is so cool to me, and probably our listeners that are in other states are like, "Who cares? It's not that big of a deal." In California, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, if in California, everybody who's probably
big
listening,
problem.
who knows somebody,
You know
who's
somebody this has
you
happened
know
to.
somebody, you probably know a landlord.
Yeah, my sister-in-law happens.
Yes, our friend. We've had like almost everybody I know that owns property
Yeah, my uncle.
in California has had a situation.
The guy wouldn't leave. It took him like 8 months to get him out. And when he left, he put holes in the wall, destroyed the whole place.
Yeah,
when he
cost
left.
tons of money.
What
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
Did you share this squatter hunter thing to him?
No.
Oh, you did it?
no,
Oh, I
no.
was.
It was a
quick-
long time ago.
So what? You know he'll
It's
appreciate that.
sensitive. He still talks
Like a
about
little
it. dude.
salt in the wound on that.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. So like people maybe in the rest of the country is like, what? That's ridiculous. That doesn't. But here it's like it's a hard thing to deal with.
Dude, I got to bring something up to you guys. So you guys remember, we've talked about this on the show a few times. I'm going to pull it up. I've talked about this it's a drug, it's a compound that bodybuilders, that I would say the most courageous bodybuilders.
Oh, dynamite.
So it's called DNP.
Yeah,
and it's
It's in dynamite, right?
it's used in making explosives. And what it is, and I know the story behind it, by the way. I'll pull it up for you. So what it does is it's called a mitochondrial uncoupler.
It cooks your inside.
Well, so here's what happens. When and I don't know the whole process, but when your body's producing energy, if it becomes inefficient, you get leaks of energy, and this causes you to burn more calories. So mitochondrial uncoupling means that some of this energy just gets turned into heat. And so as a result, your metabolism speeds up.
Sure.
Okay. So they discovered this in the 1930s. So I'll read it for you. During World War I, this is when they discovered this, munitions workers in France lost weight and had high temperatures. Some died.
Oh, wow. This is how they figured it out?
This is how they figured it out.
my
Scientists discovered that this was caused by a chemical at the factory called DMP. So what it does is it disrupts mitochondrial energy production and increases metabolism. By the way,
Like, you look great.
by the way,
I've just been making shells.
hey, listen,
do my job.
listen. This is I love this classic.
this
right?
is classic bodybuilders.
No, but here's what's funny.
Only a few died.
Yeah, but everyone else got shredded. dude.
everybody else got shredded.
Here's what's funny about this.
People like cancer.
So
no
this
big deal.
happened in during World War I, right? In the 1930s, it was one of the first weight loss drugs that were marketed. So you could actually buy DMP
Oh, you could buy it.
in the 1930s.
Wow.
It was remarkably effective, but was eventually banned to its severe toxic effects.
You guys
well, listen, the dose that makes you lose weight and the lethal dose really close. That's what they say, dude.
Right on
So,
that line.
The reason why I'm reading this is because scientists are studying, because the DMP, I don't want to encourage anybody, because I'll tell you guys, I know a pro bodybuilder who's used DMP.
Yeah, so do
okay?
I.
You know who he is.
Yes, I do too.
He told me the story of when he did it. He goes, bro, I took it. I started sweating like crazy. He goes, my sweat was yellow. He's like, made my sheets turn yellow. Ugh. He goes, I had like a fever. Yeah. And he goes, and it was crazy. And your workout performance sucks. You feel like you hold a little water, so you can't even tell you're getting leaner. Then you come off of it. He's like, you're suddenly shredded. I'm like, did you do it again? He goes, no, dude. I think I almost died. But
That sounds horrible.
So scientists are studying DMP because they're like, okay, is there a way we could create drugs that do something similar but that are safe? And what they're doing, that's exactly what they're doing. So researchers have developed experimental compounds that do kind of what DMP does, but is safe. Now they obviously it's not approved yet,
Quote unquote. Yeah.
but this is like a legit fat burners always say speed up your metabolism. They don't do that.
No.
But this actually would.
So
Yeah.
do you guys ever worry about like, okay, because there's all these crazy stories, the 50s, the 30s, like all these things that we were giving people and taking and doing like that. Like what is today? What is today? Like
Oh,
what?
God, easy.
What is that today? Like there's historically, if you went
Yeah, there
back,
was something, and
there's-
now we're like, what did they do?
exactly. There has been something always in the market that we were mass selling to people and promoting as this thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make your wheels turn and go like, that's floating around in the market right now?
Well, Doug, look up how many approved drugs get taken off the market every year.
It's a lot.
So they've gone through the process, they've been approved, they've passed all the trials, and then they get taken off because then we discover that they do something else. There's a lot.
I mean, I would say
every year we have a number.
We looked up, and what was it? 75% of all advertises, so all commercials that you hear and see are pharmaceuticals. I would make the argument the 15 to the 25% make up the lawsuits on all the commercials of the. Have you been affected by this? Whatever. Call this law firm or whatever. They're 15 to the 25.
Those commercials crack me up. It's the only reason why I know what mesothelioma is. It's because those commercials. You ever heard that? I just remember there's like mesothelioma commercials all the time.
Yes, like, what is if you suffer from
what's that? Let's see. Relatively few, hundreds that recall. There's hundreds of recalls happen every year for various reasons. So few are permanently withdrawn. That's so funny. Doug, give me the number because AI is giving us.
They don't always give you an exact number.
Yeah.
Recalls withdrawals, 30 to 1,000 annually right there. That was a number.
Yeah, so 4% of all drugs approved in 5-year periods are completely withdrawn, which considering our extensive trial.
Just to get through.
Because it costs $1 billion, on average, to take a drug from conception to market and all the testing and stuff.
Yeah, 4% is actually pretty high.
That is high.
Because if you're part of that 4%, and you're taking this drug and it's not good.
And that's not to say that the ones that stick around don't have all kinds of other crazy stuff that they just accept.
Then look at the drug companies' histories in wartime and like how they've actually like weaponized a lot of these drugs that we all use and protect, and they gassed people to death.
Look up the 1900s cough syrup ingredients. Just want you guys to see. Have you guys ever seen these before?
What cough syrup was?
Bro, they give it to kids. They give it to kids, bro. You know what's in it?
No.
Heroin.
Heroin?
Yeah, dude.
In cough syrup?
Yeah, bro. For kids.
Wow. Like legit.
This is in the early 1900s?
Yeah. Look at
morphine, cannabis, chloroform,
morphine,
and alcohol.
Cannabis, chloroform, and alcohol.
If you got caught with that all in your car, they would for sure you're going to go kill somebody.
Yeah. But it works. Timmy fell right asleep.
The old Cosby cocktail.
Huh? Oh, my son's got this terrible cough, doctor. He'll sleep tonight. Trust me.
Take this, Timmy.
My son was hiccuping last night in bed before you go to bed. He goes, Daddy, I can't stop my hiccups. I said, just hold your breath. And then he's held his breath for a few seconds. He stopped. I'll die if I keep doing that. I said, well, don't hold it that long, bro. Don't hold it that long, bro.
Don't some kids do that if they don't get their way? They hold their breath. I've never known a kid to do that, but I've seen like.
So I have a bad habit that my son has. And Katrina hates it, and she used to hate it when I used to do it. So and she used to always call me out.
When you're arguing with Katrina, you hold your breath.
No, when I focus. When I really focus or I'm really into something, I'll hold, and then also I'll go. You hear me?
I do that too.
So
I think that's normal.
Is it
normal?
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
But I think some kids, it's a thing. They'll hold their breath till they get their way, and maybe you could look it up, Doug. And some kids will make themselves pass out, and so they get their way because you don't want your kid to pass out. You know what the recommendation?
The dedication that kid has.
Yeah, that's a real stubborn.
You know
kid.
what the recommendation is?
I bet that kid does something special when he gets older.
Let him pass out.
Yeah,
he'll be okay, dude.
Is that a real thing? I mean, is that a real thing? I mean, I've heard of a kid doing that, but is that
to get their way? To get their way. Yeah,
I mean, it's a form of a temper tantrum, right? It's between that or like.
I mean, I'd probably take
on the
floor. I would take that over attention.
I know, right? Just hold your breath. Well, you're looking purple.
Yeah, I'll wake you up when you're done.
At least get some air.
Yeah, at least you're quiet.
Yeah,
over there.
So some kids hold their breath during tantrums or strong emotions.
It's usually not. It's usually an involuntary reflex.
Oh, interesting. It's
called a breath holding spell. Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not intentional.
Sometimes passing out briefly. Wow, but generally harmless.
Turning blue.
Man. Kids, dude, let me tell you.
I know.
Can you guys recall the most angry or the biggest tantrum that your kids ever thrown and what it was for or why? Can you recall it? or does it all just get blurred into like a tantrums?
Tantrums are pretty.
Because I feel like there's a lot of parents have a story where it's like, oh man, that time I took my kid to the grocery store and they didn't get that thing and it was so embarrassing. Like, have you had
a party I had to remove? Like,
at a party?
Yeah, they didn't want to leave. Well, it was mainly Ethan, but he didn't want to leave, and it was bad.
Was it like a kids' party or something? What kind of party was it?
There was kids there. That was friend. I was actually a party with like a bunch of people, and I had to like, it was bad. I had to like, we had to go off and deal with it.
That's where you like pick up your kid and like they're just freaking out.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. It was just like mechanical. Like we're gone.
Yeah.
Actually, Courtney was still there. She's like, and I'm like, we're out of here. I'm not doing this.
I wasn't there for this one, but my daughter, my older daughter, she was at the store with her mom, wanted to buy something. Her mom said no, threw a total fit, and somehow knocked her own tooth out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because she's like freaking out, and her mom was like, all right, whatever, you freak out over there.
Yeah.
You know, trying to kind of let her do it. And she turns back around and there's blood. She's like, what? And she had like knocked out a tooth.
Oh, wow.
Because she must have like, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's crazy.
Kids are, I mean, you know, tantrums are interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. There was this, I saw this woman communicating like what to do with your kid. Maybe it was even on our show. Was it on our show we interviewed? But anyway, they said that they're so dysregulated they can't even control what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so trying to talk to them or force them to do anything is like a waste of time. Right. You just got to be with them.
Yeah, let it come. Work through the feelings.
Let that come down and then go. And,
You know, I always talk about how I have the opposite problem, right? Because my son's never thrown a tantrum or anything like that. But then Katrina, and this happens to Katrina more than me, because of course he challenges her more, right? Because she's mom, and you know, she was telling me that she was trying to get him to, you know, put his clothes on, and he was just not wanting to do it. No, and he dragging his feet, and she's being a little more, Max, we have to go, this and that, and then he'll start crying. I don't like the way you're talking to me. You're raising your voice. And she's like, I am not raising my voice to you. She's not doing any of that, but he's so the other way that like even any sort of direct, stern, like direction is enough for him to be like,
you're yelling at me.
Yeah. It's like, no, I'm not. You do not see
It's funny you said that. I just pulled this, I just saved something on that. So this was an article on some studies on kids and their moms. And it says that children save their hardest emotions for their mothers because their nervous systems change around mom. Brain scans show stress circuits in a child's brain deactivate 5 times faster when reunited with their mother. So when the stress comes down, they feel safe. The feelings all.
You remember that stat? Remember the stat I brought up, right? Yeah. Like it blew my mind when they brought up grandma, teacher, stranger, friend, dad, mom. Who are they most likely to throw tantrums, push back, do all those things? And mom was like 97% more likely. Yeah. So like, but it was because they feel safest.
Yes.
And part of a kid learning what they can and can't do, the boundaries, pushing those limits, is when they feel they're safest.
By the way, I got another side to this, because what the world will constantly, therapy will communicate this all the time. There's like this belief that every feeling must be expressed. Don't hold it in. You got to say everything, whatever. There's some truth to it, but it's not all true. They also show in studies that when kids are told to, hey, control yourself, keep it in, especially boys, that their brain circuitry and changes and allows them to learn how to control themselves more. Yeah. So it's actually a skill.
Yep.
So dad helps kids calm down. Yeah. Like you got to learn how to control that.
Yep.
Mom allows a safety for them to express those things. Yeah. You can't have one without the other. Right. If it's just one, you got a kid that just
that latter part doesn't get brought up enough.
Because look, real life means you got to hold your tongue. Like if I just told you every feeling I had when I was mad, I wouldn't have a good relationship with anybody. Yeah, I got to learn how, especially if you're. I mean,
Katrina,
if you're a young man.
Katrina and I talk about this all the time. There's appropriate times for him to do that, and there's inappropriate times. Yeah. Like for example, not getting your way is not an appropriate time to be crying, or it's like, hey, this is because you didn't get a toy or you didn't get to this thing, like you don't cry. That doesn't help you get that. That's not an appropriate feeling. That like sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we do. And then there's other times he falls down or he's embarrassed or there's these things. It's like, hey, this is a normal feeling we're having. We work through those feelings. You feel those feelings, like, or you're frustrated, you're angry because you couldn't get something done. These are normal, but like doing it on things that we'll stop that and teach him how to self-regulate that emotion. When it's not acceptable.
There's a balance.
There's absolutely
such a balance.
It's not all the time. It's not like feel it. It's okay. It's like
because if you just have
you become an adult and you freaking lose your mind and your emotions.
That's right.
It's ugly and it's 100%. Unnecessary.
You imagine being in a meeting with a bunch of adults and someone's having a bad day and they freak out and whatever.
You become unhireable.
Get out of here. But on the flip side, if you have a household where you can never express anything, that militaristic, like whatever, that's repressed, that causes lots of problems.
Different. Yep.
On the other hand, if you have a household where everybody's unhinged all the time because they get to express it, that's also not good. You got to have both. So it's like, you read the data on moms and dads, it's really amazing how they complement each other. You got to have both of those.
Yeah, and again, this is why it's always good to have differences. Like, and we got to highlight the fact that that's important, and we need that. We don't need to be homogenized like the same. Like, men and women are not the same.
It's a beautiful thing to watch unfold. The teamwork when it's played that way.
Yes.
It is so. Like 99% of the time, like Katrina doesn't get frustrated with it. He stretches those boundaries. But every once in a while, Dad comes over and goes like, "Hey, that's not okay," and that shuts it down. Like that is literally all I have to do because I don't normally do that, and that ability to play off of each other. Like there's one. Otherwise, Mom lets him feel his feelings and express what he's feeling, going through this and that. Then there's other times where it's just like, no, we're getting ready for school. We have to be on time. Dad can come and be like, hey, you need to be ready in 2 minutes. Get going. Listen to your mother. Okay,
but
there's a way to play off of each other.
But I find it interesting too because it's like it's so beneficial to hold your tongue, control what you're about to say because you're pissed off or because you're whatever.
It's everything. Yeah.
There's value to that. But oftentimes what's communicated is, express yourself. Don't hold it in. Do you know what happens when you talk through anger? Nothing good.
You know why? It's like social media, bro. Everything has
it's crazy, but then you still need to express yourself later.
Sal? Sure, you do, but you got to calm yourself down to express.
Totally.
It's the way we consume content. It's the extremes get the attention and get the likes, get the shares, get the conversation. The conversation is about the extremes. It's either one extreme or the other, and really it's somewhere in the middle of that. It's like you want your kid to be able to express his feelings. You want your kid to be able to articulate that. You want them to feel their feelings, but you also don't want them to run over you and just like that they get away. That's how they manipulate and they use that way. So then there's a way
just never learn how to control.
And then as a dad, you do need to be stern sometimes, but being stern is not yelling or losing control because
that actually is the opposite.
Right. That's what I mean. So it's like we always speak in these absolutes or these extremes when there's this. Again, I think it's a beautiful, delicate dance between two different sexes that do two different things really, really well. Yeah. And when done appropriately as a team, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
But it doesn't get communicated
it's a better
that way.
result.
Yeah. It is a totally better result. All right, I got some recent studies on Shilajit. I didn't know they did. There's so many recent studies on it, which is pretty cool.
For something that's been around for so long.
Yeah, so this is cool. So there's a 2024 study done on Shilajit. They found that Shilajit reduced amyloid beta-induced cytotoxicity in certain cells in the brain. In other words, probably good for brain health. So there's some neuroprotective effects.
Explain cytotoxicity. Explain.
Toxicity to the cells. So beta amyloid plaques can be toxic to the cells of the brain. I don't think it causes. There's some debate as to whether it causes Alzheimer's
or
yes, right. So it helps protect the cells.
Okay. And what would fall into that category? Are you talking about like microplastics and things like that? Like what would fall
anything
into
that can make the brain inflame? So high blood sugar, microplastics, chemical.
Like even
bad sleep, that kind of stuff.
Okay, interesting.
There's a study in 2025. This was a review of clinical trials that showed that 250 milligrams twice a day for 90 days increased total testosterone, free testosterone, sperm count, ready for this, by 61%, motility by 17%, and morphology, so the shapes of the sperm, by 18.9%.
What is the shapes of your sperm help?
Oh, so you
More
can
torpedo-like?
no. So you can look at sperm under a microscope,
Two tails.
and you could have enough of them, but they don't have good morphology, so they're
Deformities.
Yes, and so it causes infertility.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a few different ways you can have infertility with your sperm. One is that you don't have enough. The other one is that they don't swim well, the way that they're shaped. So they look at all that stuff. Yeah. Bone healing.
Deformed.
They looked at us. There was a 2022.
Bro, I'm not past that either. I know he's moving on, but I'm like, it's wild that we get under a
try to
microscope
picture
and
it.
we like can look at the different types
dude.
of little swimmers that you have and be
Yeah.
like, sorry, guy. I mean, you got a lot, but they're kind of
Yeah,
deformed.
it's like a square head.
Yeah.
Those aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, they're not so good at the freestyle
Look at
stroke.
this ugly guy.
A lot of backstroking going with your guys.
you gotta-
I'm trying.
Crashing into
You'll
each
never
other.
make it.
You'll see
They swim in the wrong way. Yeah. In 2020, there was a 2022 randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trial that examined Shilajit's effects on bone health in postmenopausal women with osteopenia. So 60 participants got 250 or 500 milligrams of Shilajit extract daily for 48 weeks. There was a dose-dependent preservation of bone mineral density in the lumbar spine, along with reduced oxidative stress and inflammation. So by itself, helped with bone strengthening. There's another study. I have so many. I'll just do a couple of them. Physical performance trials reviewed in 2025 showed that for 8 weeks, the 250 to 500 milligrams a day enhanced muscle adaptation, reduced fatigue, and boost collagen synthesis. Ready for this? Up to 84%, with benefits of skin health and wound healing. This is a great.
Before you don't do any more. I mean, I'm still on the first one just because
What, the sperm?
Well, yeah, because okay. So how does that compare to things like Tongkat Ali and ashwagandha, other like traditional other supplements that
I don't know. It's a good question. What blows me away most about Shilajit is all the stuff that it does. It does a lot of
effect,
things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the exact numbers are with Tongkat Ali, and I know it helps with fertility in men.
Yeah.
Well,
But
also,
I don't know
it's
how
like, are we deficient? Like, because it's one of those things. Like, is this something you find in really good soil, or like where else would you get something similar that would have all these? Like,
No, when would
amazing
you
effects?
naturally eat this
It's
weird?
tar on a tree
I know, it
in
just
a random
seems so,
place,
like-
right?
No, it's literally it's organic
exotic.
material that
Yeah.
has been broken down over long periods of time. It oozes out of rocks in the Himalayan mountains.
Yeah, it's so random.
Yeah,
like
dude. Well, so what Organifi did is, Doug, what's their dose in their serving? There's a bag right there on there, and I think it's efficacious dose, right? How much Prima V's in there?
250 milligrams.
Perfect. So there you go. So you could take that dose or double it, and that's what the studies show. Now, in their gummies, which they don't taste bad at all, it tastes good and it's easy to take. The thing with Shilajit, though, is you can get crappy Shilajit or you can get fake Shilajit.
Well, I mean, that's the
Prima V is the source. So if Organifi uses Prima V supplies to other people too. So if you want good Shilajit, go with Organifi or look for well-sourced Shilajit. But all the studies, you count them all together. Like, this is a pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's a lot of benefit.
it's
What
popping
trips
up.
me out is who's the first person to eat this.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, and then how long do you have to do that and within a family for like people to pass it down? Is like, hey, this is working. I noticed something. Like that's
It's and I've heard theories, and of course this gets a little bizarre as you get into it, because you think that like the trial and error part of that must have been like, okay, Jim died because he ate this, and then and they all kind of like talk amongst, but there was some theory that a lot of these like psychedelics, like and mushrooms, like it sort of gives them some sort of insight and ideas with like
To find
certain
other stuff?
things to eat, which has been the theory in
don't
terms
know
of
about that,
advancement. But
I haven't
that-
had enough
again,
mushrooms to get that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Hippies aren't inventing a lot of stuff right now.
So this is interesting on Shilajit. They observed animals in the mountains.
Oh, that's of course.
So they noticed large white monkeys migrating to higher altitudes each summer to eat a specific black tar-like substance that oozed
there
from
you
the
go.
rock crevices.
Good job, Doug.
The monkeys displayed great vitality and a speedy recovery from injuries, which piqued their curiosity.
By the way, great vitality means the monkeys were having a lot of sex.
Yeah. That's that
Like,
means.
dude, those monkeys are going nuts.
Yeah. Maybe we should try that. Maybe we'll give that to my wife when she's sleeping. That's what every caveman said right there.
wonder if
Every
this will
caveman watched the monkeys.
That's how they discovered horny. Hey,
Sneak this in.
Horny
That's how
goat
they discovered
weed?
horny goat weed.
Is it?
Goats would eat it, and then they just go fornicate like crazy. And so farmers were like,
You know what? I don't know
What's up
why
with
that.
these
I didn't know
goats?
why that didn't
Yeah.
dawn on me. That is probably how a large percentage of
observing
almost
animals.
all is
That makes
observing
sense.
animals
Yeah.
first.
That makes sense.
Is seeing that they're acting. We're watching them and their behavior. They eat it. They don't die. You see some sort of note. You can pick up. They're like, man, they're having way more sex this week than they were the previous weeks. And you're like, that's
Hey,
interesting.
this is before cell phones and stuff. Like you're just bored.
Yeah.
You're just watching monkeys.
I mean, that's
Watching
just,
monkeys
you're like,
do their
John,
thing.
Come on, dude. Hey,
Bro, they were having sex.
we
like
got TV and
5
cell
times
phones.
a
We
week.
still. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody in this room
Eating
watches
grapes.
the Nature Channel.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, let me tell you guys. We went to where were we?
This guy's going crazy.
We were at a zoo. Aurelius was like 3, and they had tortoises. And we just must have timed it right, bro. One tortoise, like big giant tortoises, the big ones. One got on the other one's back and started to mate with it.
Yeah.
And he's 3; he doesn't know what's going on. So we're walking over there, and I'm like, "Uh-oh!"
Piggyback ride.
And the tortoise was making noises, dude. So he's laughing.
I don't even know if I've even heard a tortoise.
He's copying them. He's like, Papa, listen. What are they doing? I'm like, I think they're wrestling. I don't know what's going on. It was hella loud, dude.
Yeah.
He still talks about it today.
What age? Okay, what age
funny.
is that? So I'm aware because right now that's still what it's wrestling, right? That mom and dad do at night. Like,
well, I don't know.
What age
You
is
gotta
it?
hide that, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, of course you hide that for as long as
What are you guys doing in there?
Turn up the white noise.
What's that noise happening in there, dude? I don't know. Joy Mode is a science-backed formula that is packed with citrulline, arginine, ginseng, vitamin C in efficacious doses to support peak performance. By the way, what kind of performance are we talking about? In the bedroom. It boosts blood flow. It makes things rise to the occasion. It really does work. It also works as a good pre-workout if you want a good pump in the muscles you're training. But again, use it before the bedroom for a better pump. You know where. Go tryjoymode.com/mind pump. Use the code mind pump at checkout. Get 20% off. Back to the show. This segment of the podcast is brought to you by Mind Pump Fitness Coaching. This is the #1 course that teaches trainers and coaches how to build sustainable 6-figure plus businesses and careers in fitness. Look, it's roundtable based, so you can hear Adam, Justin, and myself teaching you how to build a better business, get more leads, close more deals, close bigger deals, and be more effective trainers. By the way, our course is nationally recognized. In fact, it gives you 1.9 CEUs with or for your NASM certification. Find out more at mindpumpfitnesscoaching.com.
Our first caller is John from Louisiana.
What's up, man?
How you doing,
What's up,
John?
John?
Y'all, how's it going?
Good,
Good,
man.
dude.
All
How
right,
can we
man.
help you?
Good. I guess first I want to say, man, I just really appreciate the way that y'all can blend science with experience and then dumb it down for us average people. Y'all do it in such a way, man, that it's changing people's lives. I'll jump straight into my email. I'll just read it to you. I'm a 52-year-old male, 5'4", currently weigh 152 pounds, and I'm at about 8% body fat. I resistance train 5 days a week. I walk 30 to 45 minutes about 3 times a week. And my diet's pretty consistent, around 2,400 calories a day. And I only drink alcohol occasionally, maybe a few times a month. So my goal is to build more muscle, but I took some surveys. One, I think, was a McDonald's, and one was a butt survey. And they're saying that I'm around 90% of my genetic potential. So my question is, am I really genetically limited to gaining more mass? Or is it realistic to add another 10 or 15 pounds of lean muscle mass over the next couple of years at my age and my current condition?
Yeah. Well, how long you been strength training for?
Off and on since I was in my 20s, but I've gotten serious since I turned 50. I actually started competing as a men's physique competitor.
Good for you. Are you on any hormones? All natural?
I'm all natural right now.
Good deal.
Oh, wow.
You said right now. Have you used performance enhancers in the past?
I have. Yes, sir.
Okay. So that changes things a bit. Now, what I will say is it'll be hard to tell if you're at your, quote unquote genetic potential, if you're sitting at 8% body fat trying to build. Most guys are not. They're gonna have a tough time building with a body fat percentage below, 11 or even 12%.
Especially without any extra hormones. So trying to do it naturally would be really tough that low.
Yeah. Now, when you were using performance enhancing drugs, do you know what your lean body mass was then versus now?
When I got on stage, I was a little below 4% body fat.
Okay. But do you know what your lean body mass was reaching in the off season with that, or?
Yeah, when you were bulking. Yeah, when you were bulking.
Yeah. So it's hard to say, dude. It's really hard to say because you're obviously jacked and ripped and experienced. But here, and you're also, 52, so that might change things a little bit. But to be honest with you, I don't know, man. 8%, I'd say go on a bulk, 2,400 calories. I'll tell you this much: you're not going to gain any muscle at 2,400 calories. Yeah. We're going to have to get you over 3,000 and then see what happens there.
Yeah. Not to mention,
kind of what I was hoping you would say. I was just scared to do it on my own because I didn't want to gain any fat. I'm kind of picky about the way I look.
You're going to have to gain some fat to gain some muscle. Yeah, not at 8%. You don't have to get a lot of fat. But
not to mention, John, you have the tools and the knowledge how to get right back down. Anyways, it's more psychological. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you went up to as high as 12 or 13% body fat. A guy with your experience and muscle memory, going right back down and getting lean would be relatively easy, from that. And Sal's point, you'll build much better north of 10%, sub 10%, trying to build, especially naturally, especially older, and also towards whether you're at 90%, 80%, 70% of your peak. I think those tests are hard to be really truly accurate, but even at 90%,
you got another 10%.
That means 10% on 152 pounds. That's 15 pounds. So even that test is saying that there's potential for 15 more pounds of muscle to be built. So that's still. And you said, can I get another 10 pounds? So you absolutely, even based off of that, you can. But it's going to be tough to do that. Natural, under 10% body fat, only eating 2,500 calories. So my suggestion is, go on a nice aggressive bulk, 3,000 calories plus, and allow yourself to go up a little bit in percent.
And just based off what you're saying, I already know, you go up to 3,000, 3,200 calories, it'll be clean.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to eat garbage to make that happen.
I stay away from anything processed. It's all clean.
You'll be good,
bro.
Here's the two things I would look at, I would monitor for this. I'd monitor strength and body fat percentage, and that'll tell you if you're going too far or not. So if I'm in your shoes and I'm trying to gain, here's what I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at, am I getting stronger in the gym? And then is my body fat percentage going up? Now, I'm going to expect my body fat percentage to go up. In fact, I'm going to expect it to go up until I get to about 11 or 12%.
Yeah.
Once it starts to go above that, if I get up to, I'm at 12.5%, 13%, then I know the calories are a bit too high.
Yeah, you're going.
So those are the two things I'm monitoring. But but the goal is, here to put it differently, if I'm getting stronger and I'm in a surplus, but my body fat percentage is sitting at 9% and it's not going up, I got to add calories. So that's what I mean by that. I'm looking at body fat percentage to make it go up to determine whether or not my bulk is appropriate.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because you did hormones in the past and you're not now, have you tested to kind of see where your natural levels are falling right now?
Yeah. I've had just last week I had my blood panel done and everything's okay. I'm a little low on tests. Okay.
Wow. So wait, hold on. So you bounced back pretty quick?
Yeah, in 2 months. Yep.
Wow. What's awesome.
Do you know what your total is at now?
Total
testosterone.
Testosterone, I'm at 144, which is a little low, but I think it'll come.
Wait, that's total or free?
That's probably free.
I'm sorry, free. Okay. As far as I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a bad recovery after a couple months. Yeah. So, well, bump the calories, dude. That'll make the biggest difference, especially post show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then with strength training, 5 days a week's fine. You sound like you're real experienced.
But you do better off of less.
You might even do better with 4
or 3.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Are you running any maps? Do you have any of our stuff yet?
The only thing I've done is I've read Sal's book.
Yeah.
So you get
the
Resistance Revolution. It is.
Yeah.
But I don't have any MAPS programs.
I mean,
just do the-
I would personally love to see you run MAPS Anabolic in a bulk. I think that it would, and stick to that if you can. And then on the other days, if you want to go for a walk and do mobility and do other things, because if you like going to the gym 5 days a week, I'd never tell someone not to. But it's a 3-day-a-week full body routine. That with a bulk, I think would serve you really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the most important piece of all this, though, for someone like you, is the bulk.
Yeah. Eat. Got to eat.
That's right.
And I have a problem with eating. I'm hardly ever satisfied after eating. I have a big appetite.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Yeah. Go for it.
If you're at 24, I mean, I would put you up to like I'd add a good 600 calories.
At least, yeah, 3,000, 3,200 should be a good place
That's
for you to
right.
be starting at, and just and like Sal said, let it be. Stay there and expect to go a couple percent up. You start getting beyond 12, you know you're bulking too fast. Then you can just don't pull back crazy, just pull back a little bit.
Yep.
And then the extra muscle. And
Yeah, I mean, here's what's going to happen. You'll probably get up to 10% pretty quick, and then it's going to be probably hover around there for a while.
that's what I would
as
guess.
you build.
I would guess the same thing. Yep.
Okay.
I'll have Doug send over a MAPS Anabolic from us so you can follow that. I'd love to hear you follow. I'd love to hear you bulk, follow that, and then hit us back because I'd like to see what we do.
Okay. Well, you have no idea how much I appreciate you sending me that MAPS Anabolic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
you got it, man.
We got you. We got you. You just follow it, do the bulk, and then I'd love to hear back from you, John.
Okay.
All right?
All right, dude.
All right, brother.
All right. Thank y'all.
Yeah, take it easy, man.
You know, what's interesting to me, which, I believe this up to him and his doctor. At 52, if he's going to run cycles, why not
stay on it?
Why not go on TRT?
Yeah.
So on
Interesting.
cycle is a higher dose, right? I'm not advocating that. That's just, competitive bodybuilding. Off cycle would be TRT rather than doing the up and downs and crazy swings. I mean, he's 52. He's probably not going to have any, kids anymore. Or
Well, that's how I was thought the same thing too. I thought it was interesting, and especially too, he still has goals of continuing to build more muscle.
Yep.
Trying to do that, coming off of a cycle where you're already trying to get back your normal testosterone level and build. I mean, it's just. That's,
But back to the body fat percentage thing. There's very, very, very few people that can really bulk in the single digit body fat percentage. 99.9% of people fit, healthy, doing everything right. You got to get your body fat up at least to like 11, 12. For me, like my max bulking, like I'm getting strong and I'm not putting on too much body fat. Like that sweet spot for me is around 11, 12%. For me. And I sit leaner. So some guys is even higher. Some dudes, 14, 15% is their sweet spot for, packing on muscle.
I mean, I don't even, it's so funny. When I'm in like kind of bulk mode right now, it's like, I don't even care. If it's as long as it's north of 10, 12.
Yeah.
I'm like 12, 15, somewhere. It doesn't even matter. It's like it does better in that range than trying to also be really lean and do it slowly like that. He'll do better if he goes up.
Our next caller is Leanne from Georgia.
Hi, Leanne.
How you doing,
Hello.
Leanne?
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing good. How are you?
How can we help you?
I'm cold. It's cold here in Georgia. We're not used to this.
Yeah. Well, we're in California, so
Yeah, it's still cold today, though. It's cold. It's cold over here too.
if it's below
I think
if it's below 60, we're all freezing over here.
Yeah. Well, but anyways, this is really cool. I'm super excited. I said, as I was telling you guys, this is the best birthday present ever. My birthday's tomorrow. So
Happy birthday.
Yes.
I will, thank you. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I'll go ahead and jump right in. I have been listening to you guys for a little over a year. I started listening to you because I used to listen to Mike Matthews' podcast,
Yep.
and then he stopped his podcast. And I think, Sal, you were on his podcast, or maybe it was Adam.
Both
One
of us.
of you guys was.
Both of us have been on there. He's good. He's a good friend of
Okay.
ours. Very good friend
If
of
you
ours.
liked the episode, it was probably me.
Yeah.
I was
but
on
anyways,
there too.
he stopped. I started
was.
listening to y'all.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And I listen to you guys all the time in the car, in the gym, everything. My daughter, I have a 6-year-old daughter, and she has the intro memorized. It's really funny.
Oh, that's cool.
So I also love it when you guys talk about your kids. And I can relate to your talks about the teenagers as well, because I actually am a high school science teacher. So hanging out with 15-year-olds is kind of my thing. I love it.
Yeah.
They are fun. But I'll go ahead and jump into my question. I'll be 38 tomorrow. So I said in my email that I'm a 38-year-old. I've been lifting for the last 2 years consistently. I actually started doing one of Mike Matthews' programs on the Thinner, Leaner, Stronger on New Year's Eve 2 years ago. So that's when I started to really get into lifting and consistently lift 5 days a week with the compound lifts, squat, bench, deadlift, and starting to use heavy weights. When I first started, I don't remember exactly what my numbers were, but I know that I deadlifted one day a couple weeks after I started and tried to do 135 pounds, and I threw out my back. It was terrible. So now, this past Thanksgiving, my sister-in-law is a power lifter. So this past Thanksgiving, we did a mock powerlifting meet on Thanksgiving Day.
That's cool.
And I did 500 pounds total for all 3 lifts.
Wow.
And my deadlift was 225.
Wow.
So
Incredible.
So I've increased it quite a bit, over almost 100 pounds, at least 100 pounds in 2 years, which I think is pretty good considering my size. I'm really small. I am only 5'1", and I do have low bone density. So it's sometimes I wonder if I'm lifting too much for where my bone density is. And that is due to a history of being small my whole life. Some of it's family history. And then I will disclose that I have a history of an eating disorder that I've struggled with since at various points in my life since I was really like 12, I guess. So it's kind of a lifetime thing to really just kind of keep it at bay and keep it away. So now I feel like I've kind of stalled out on progress as far as getting my lifts any higher, particularly my upper body, my bench press. I still cannot bench 100 pounds. My bench was 95 pounds for that competition. So my deadlift saved me. But I am wondering, as far as my next fitness goals, that 500 pound was a big milestone. And I'm not sure where to go from here. I was thinking about the idea of doing a real powerlifting meet, but I'm so small that I don't know if there would be anyone to compete against, which is worthless then. And then the other question I have is that I bought the MAPS Super Bundle, 9 months to phased expert exercise programming designed by the 3 of you. So I had to buy it. I bought it on the Black Friday sale, and I just opened it and started looking through it this past week because I was doing this other program. I finished up with my year-long coaching commitment with my Legion coach, and I figured that I would start looking at it now, but it's not really what I expected. I did not realize MAPS Anabolic was only 2 or maybe 3 days a week if you did the advanced version. And I like working out. I like to be in the gym 5 days a week. I have time to do it. And so I'm looking for advice on how to modify that so that I can get it to be more of a 5 day a week program with slightly shorter workouts, as well as, how to progress that program to get the most strength gains possible.
Yeah, great question. Yep. I appreciate your call and your honesty, and you got a great energy. I really appreciate you calling. So this is going to be pretty simple for someone like you. You mentioned
simple but hard.
Yes. So there's a few things you mentioned that are going to point me in just strongly in a direction. So I'll start with the really good news. You have really good genetics. You're really strong. Yeah, like really strong for your size.
Even your bench press, by the way, 95-pound bench press.
It's your body. Yeah. You're lifting for 5'1". You're lifting a good amount of weight in all your lifts. Yeah. So you're really, really strong. And the low bone density is a 100% a result of the low food intake, low caloric intake. Definitely from the past, but also probably now as well. I'll guess your calories are probably still too low. And so that's where it's going to point me. It's going to point to food intake. So here's what happens when you strength train and your food intake or your caloric intake is too low. You still get osteopenia. And we see it all the time in the fitness space, all the time. Young women who strength train, compete, they're always really, really lean, and their bone density just continues to go down. And they freak out. They don't know how, but I'm lifting weights, and it's like you're sending the signal, but we're just not feeding the body enough. And so that's the direction we're going to point you. As far as workouts concerned, Mike Matthews has great programming. MAPS anabolic we could modify. You could do.
Yeah. That being said, though, Sal, to your point with lower calories, a lower volume of program is also going to benefit you more.
That's right.
In that condition, right? Because we don't have enough calories. A higher volume program is also working against us, not for us.
Let me ask you this: you worked with a coach. I love Mike Matthews. He's always got great stuff. I'm assuming when you worked with your coach, was this a constant conversation with them? Was the food intake and calories?
Yeah, it was. And she had me tracking. And so now that my year is up with her, I have hired an online, through Nourish. I don't know if you're familiar with that program, but it's an online program with dietitians. So I've hired a dietitian. I met with her once, and they both, they're having me track. So I am tracking my food. So I know where my macros are, and I know, I have at least an approximation. I'm not always the best about tracking it. And I know that there's a tendency with my history to overestimate. So I probably do that a bit, but overall, typically my calories fall around 2,000 calories.
Yep.
And then my protein is at somewhere between 100 and 110. Do you still think that's too low?
I do.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Especially how strong and how much muscle that you have on
the bone density will tell me.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, the bone density would tell me 100%, and your past.
Okay.
And I know while I'm talking to you, if you don't mind me being direct, is that okay if I'm a little direct?
Yeah, of course.
That's
why I like you guys.
I know as I'm talking to you and you're hearing me talk about food, it's like you're freezing a little bit. And I know that this is like I'm touching on something that's difficult, and I get it because this is a challenge for me as well, just in a different direction. So it's like when someone tells me the thing that I know but I don't want to do, I make the same face that you made, which is like, tell me about the workout. Let's not touch that one area that is difficult.
Yeah. I guess I feel like and I know you hear this all the time. I feel like I'm eating a lot, and I eat pretty clean, like probably 80% of the time. It's a lot of vegetables, fruits, whole milk yogurts, stuff like that. And I try and throw the junk food on top of that. The
Leon,
cookies,
let me stop you. You can't trust your feelings.
Yeah.
Your feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
If you trusted your feelings,
they go back 20 years.
You're going to go, this is we tell people, listen to your body. When I'm dealing with somebody who's got dysfunctional relationship to exercise and diet, you don't listen to your body. So if you eat appropriately, it's going to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Like when I track my food and I've eaten a 500 calorie dinner, I'm like, I'm stuffed. I don't know if I could, I don't know how I could possibly eat anymore.
Yes. So it's going to be uncomfortable, and we have to completely change your relationship to eating, which means for a while, it's going to be very foreign. It's going to be very uncomfortable, and you're not going to like it. You're not going to like this process. It's going to be very uncomfortable for a while. So you cannot trust. So a coach is a good idea, but what they're going to do is, you following what they do with you is going to be the hard part, not the tracking, not the awareness. I'm not worried about that. I know you're going to make a great case, which is why I cut you off, because you were making a great case. I eat healthy. I throw in junk food. But I'm not concerned with that. What I'm concerned with is we got to get your bone density up. And we got to get your body fat percentage up. And I know I just scared the hell out of you, but your body fat percentage is too low for your bone density to go up. We got to get your body fat percentage to 20% at least. Do you know where you're sitting?
It's not there.
No.
I have the DEXA scan that I got did not do body fat percent. It was only bone because my doctor ordered it. So I don't know exactly, but I would guess maybe somewhere around 16.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get it up to 20.
And that's like where it's been for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Now here's what's going to happen. Here's what'll happen if you follow my advice. And if you're, by the way, if you're willing to add another coach to your arsenal, we have coaches here that work really well with what we're dealing with. And what they could do is they could also work in conjunction with your dietitian. So, and more just the support and guidance and trust, and, you know, because you're not going to be able to trust yourself through this process. But here's what it's going to feel like. Uncomfortable. I'm stuffed. I'm full. Oh my God, I'm getting big. And then you're going to be like, whoa, I'm strong. This isn't as scary as I thought.
I feel good.
I'm feeling different. My hair looks different. My skin looks different. My energy's starting to feel different. This is foreign. What's going on? Oh no, I'm too big. Oh no, I feel good. And you're going to go back and forth for a little while until we develop this new relationship with the whole process. But we have to go in that direction.
Yeah. And in the past, it's been really hard because I've never had, like when I've done treatment in the past, it's always been all about the food, and there's never been any exercise component like with it. And so I need help with both of them together at the same time, because it's like once you get the food, I don't know, I think they both have to happen at the same time.
You're 100% right. You're 100%
and none of the programs do that.
No, because they're just focusing on the nutrition side. The beautiful side, when you have somebody who does both, it's going to be much easier for you because you actually enjoy getting strong. So you're going to see that. And so that's one of those. That's
such a silver lining.
That's such an awesome, like, it's good. Like Sal's saying, the food part is going to be hard and you're going to go back and forth struggle. But the thing that you'll be able to lean on is like, oh shit, my bench press went up. Oh shit, my deadlift
performance is going to
go. And so that part of you will be able to lean and focus on that and not so much of the food. You just trust your coach of like, keep eating this. I want you to do that. Stay the course. Yeah. How's the lifts going? And that's what, like, if I'm coaching you, that's what we're talking about. I'm talking more about the lifts. You trust me. You eat what I tell you to eat, but let's talk about your lifts. Let's talk about how you feel and keep you focused on that. And it's so much more reassuring for a client that's working through what you're working through right now.
So Leanne, just to stay, direct, because this is a call, and if I were coaching long term, the conversations would sound a little different. So I apologize ahead of time.
No, that's okay.
But for people watching, the root of this, a lot of people think it's body image, but it's actually control, which I know you already know that. So the solution is to relinquish control.
Yeah,
that's the solution. The solution is to give it to your coach, and then just do what they say. And then just deal with how uncomfortable and scary it is. It's gonna feel really scary.
And I know that, like, I've got to lean on my faith for this too, and I know that resonates with you. Yeah. We were at our church service on this past Sunday, and they were talking about that actually, going through all of the passages in Hebrews and about giving up all of your sins to God.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
And so like this is like perfect. It was perfect timing for it. And this is all perfect timing. What should I do then about the workouts? I wish you guys would have had MAPS 15 power lift, like, and had released all these MAPS 15 programs.
Leanne, one, we're going to give it to you. Yeah, two, we also have, we have coaches that
you work with our coach. They'll give you whatever you need.
Okay. Yes. They'll take care of that part. So I would love if you allow us to have one of our coaches call you. And she can talk to you and talk more about this, and then we'll take care of the program.
You mentioned your faith. I love that, because you know that there's an illusion of control that's completely false anyway. We're not sovereign, so that's completely out the window. Here's the other thing too: is another wonderful silver lining. You work with teenagers and teenage girls. Yep. When you're in those moments where you're really struggling, what would you tell a 15-year-old you or a 15-year-old student? And that advice is the advice that you would take, because I know it's easier to love them than it is to love yourself.
It is. Yeah. You're right. So you're absolutely right.
When you're in that place, be like, what would I tell, my 15-year-old daughter or student? And then say, okay, that's the advice I need to take.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have someone call you. I know exactly who I think you would be great with.
Yes.
And then what's going to be great about this, Leanne, is now that if you work with our coaches, we're going to see you, and I'm going to hop on some of these calls because I feel responsible now for you, and this will be so fun.
Yeah. We're going to help you through this. We got this.
All right, great. Thank you. This was awesome.
All right.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah,
You
and,
too.
and happy
Happy
birthday.
Enjoy
birthday.
yourselves.
Yes.
Enjoy yourselves tonight with your Z-biotics. And, I
You do
like
know
so
us too
trust
well.
you guys. I buy all the things that bought your programs, and then buy all the things that you tell us to buy. I'm like, I got to get the Intera. That's what the Mind Pump guys say again. And I'm like, I buy all the Legion proteins and pre-workouts, which actually are amazing anyways.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Well,
Good
let
stuff.
us take care of you now.
That's great.
So
Okay.
we'll have someone call you and we'll take care of you.
God
man.
bless you.
All right.
Yep.
all right, thank you so much.
Thank
We'll be
you.
in touch.
How cute her daughter was back there.
I know.
Messing with
Playing with
her.
her hair. I loved it. It's so
I wonder
great.
if she even knew. Did she see?
I knew when
She felt,
I knew
yeah,
as soon as I
sure.
started talking food, she was like, that's not what I want to hear. And I get it, man. I totally get it. And I know that's what the coaches tried to work with her on from Legion too. And that's the difficult thing. And I just want people to know, ladies in particular, you can strength train perfectly. You will get osteoporosis if you don't eat enough.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
There's
An unfortunate fact.
for the most part, there's a lot of callers that are pretty straightforward for us. Then there's stuff that there's a real art to be able to take somebody through something
oh
like that.
yeah, this is coaching.
It's not as simple like, you know, young coach goes, oh, just add 500 calories a day.
Yeah.
You know, and
Make it happen.
and walks away because it's not just that. It's able to step her through that whole process, and you just have to keep a close eye on that. And to try and do it through a nutritionist without strength training, it to me is just. I would love to see the numbers on the success rate of that, how often that happens. Because in my experience, the only way
Doesn't
this
really
really
compare.
works is we ignore the scale. We don't hyper focus on the food. You're following the plan I gave you. You don't even need to know how many calories. I know how many calories it is. You know what I'm saying? All we're talking about is like, how do you feel? How's your sleep? How's your hair? How's
Now
your
you
skin?
can direct positive energy in that direction instead of it all being doom and
And
gloom.
the key is that you have to communicate, and they have to make peace with the fact that it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's going to be really uncomfortable. And I don't know.
You gotta acknowledge
I've
it.
seen a lot of nutrition coaches, dietitians, and they don't focus on that. But you need to, because what happens to the person is they're doing it and they're like, this can't be right. I feel terrible. Well, yeah, you feel terrible because it's scary as hell to you. And a feeling of being satisfied is a very scary feeling to somebody who's had a history of eating disorder.
Yep.
Our next caller is Justin from Ohio.
What's up, man?
What's up, Justin?
What's up, dude?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. How can we help you?
Okay, so I'm a 42-year-old male, about 5'6", 165 pounds, somewhere between 19% body fat. And I just want to know if all the things we know about optimal training, frequency, volume, recovery, hormone response, does all that stuff still apply to someone's shift on that has a night shift schedule? So I work like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I just want to know, like, does all that stuff apply to me as it does to like a 9-to-5 lifter, like a normal lifter?
It does, but what I think everyone is going to agree in this room is that sleep becomes such a bigger priority than even. I mean, sleep is a big
it's the
priority for
recovery side of it.
everybody, but for someone like you, it trumps so many other things because of how challenging that can be, and so
It does. It's
yeah.
Do you flip?
no, that's the one thing I kind of key on is sleep. So I always get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and that's something I prioritize.
Good.
And I was doing like a push-pull leg, and that was just absolutely killing me. Like it was just taking so much energy out of me.
Yeah.
And recently I switched to a full body 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
And that seems to do a lot better. Like I have more energy.
For sure.
Gives it time for rest and recovery.
Yeah.
And it also gives me time to do other things. You know, I'm not strictly in the gym 2 hours a day, you know?
Yeah. No,
Yep.
here's
That's much better for you.
Here's the two things I would tell you. Do you flip your schedule when you're off, or do you maintain the same schedule?
So on my days off, I have a really unique schedule. So I work 5, I get 2 off, I work 2, and then I get 5 off.
Okay.
On my off days, usually I'll catch up on my sleep and then switch my schedule back
Okay.
to like a normal.
You got a family? You got kids, wife?
I have a wife, a dog. I have no kids.
Okay. Well, so I get it then, because you probably want to hang out with your wife. So ideally, you would keep your schedule the same all the time. The flipping all the time is really giving you is doing a number on your circadian rhythm. But I get it.
Okay.
You probably don't want to. You probably want to be up when your wife is up. on those days off.
Right. Just go back to a normal schedule on my day off.
I get it. I get it. So in that case,
when he does do that, I can't remember the research and stuff that Ben Greenfield would share with us that related to like the infrared sauna, like when he goes to reset.
Yeah, I mean, you can use sauna, melatonin. You really want to mimic, daytime at night, nighttime in the day on those days that you're doing that, and then do everything you can to accelerate the switching of the circadian rhythm when you're having those days where you're flipping.
That's what I mean. When he goes, so I'm trying to give him some like extra tips to speed
red light
that
therapy.
To speed that process up would be like an infrared sauna and melatonin the night before, right? That would probably be the best thing for you to do. And then,
what about magnesium?
Yeah,
I don't really like the melatonin. Melatonin, I kind of wake up a little groggy, but I've switched to magnesium, and magnesium seems to help out a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. No, the melatonin
is
you would
only on the day when you're switching. So you wouldn't you do magnesium consistently. Magnesium should be like a staple thing you do. The magnesium the magnesium in the infrared sauna is the
melatonin
or the melatonin and the infrared sauna is the one day that you do the flip. So when you flip to the new schedule,
you take the melatonin.
What that's doing is it's helping you reset your circadian rhythm faster than what you're doing naturally. You're kind of doing it by yourself by 2 days of rest and recovery.
Right.
That should accelerate it by having that the night before, having melatonin that night, and then in the morning doing the infrared sauna.
The other thing too is you probably would benefit from taking 15 to 20 grams of creatine a day.
Oh yeah, good point.
I do. Creatine's a staple of mine. That's it. Yep.
But do you take 15 to 20 grams?
High dose of it.
Are you doing high dose or just 5 grams a day?
Between 15 and 20.
Yeah,
I'll do it throughout the day. My morning protein shake, then afternoon and the night.
Good.
Yep. Nope. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
You're good, dude.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Okay, cool. Very good. And then the full body, that's something that's like sustainable.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
you doing it 2 to 3 times a week.
I like you on the 2 to 3 times a week. The only other option I would say would be good for you is like the MAPS 15.
Yeah.
But if you like the idea that you only got to be in the gym 2 or 3 days, less days in the gym, is that's better for you, then do that. But the MAPS 15 is even lower volume, so it's even less stress on the body, which isn't a bad option too.
Okay. Yeah, that was another thing. I like when I do it, I go pretty hard. It's 3 to 4 exercises per body part.
Oh yeah, that's pretty hard.
Yep.
So
yeah. MAPS anabolic is the follow MAPS anabolic the way that's. Do you have that already?
I do not.
Okay, so
let's get that.
Oh yeah, send him MAPS anabolic.
Yeah, that'll be good for that schedule.
Yep. I'll have Doug send you also MAPS 15 because I think you should try that. I think try MAPS anabolic, see how that type of a routine works for you. Then, and give it like a month or 2 of running that, see how that feels. And then also give MAPS 15 a shot and just see how your body responds and how you feel, the difference. And really what the difference is, MAPS 15, instead of it being these 2 full body long hour sessions or 3 long hour sessions, you're breaking it up over 6 days small. You're only doing 2 lifts in a day.
Okay.
So it's less intense, which will help with things like sleep and recovery because it's not as much volume. So play with those 2.
Right on.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, Justin.
Cool. Well, thank you guys.
All right, man.
Have a good New Year, guys.
You too.
You got it, man. I mean, for anybody listening who does a night shift, if you want perfect, you want to make it ideal, you keep that schedule all the time.
Yeah.
That's so hard though, bro.
I know.
Unless
because the rest of the world is up.
Yeah, unless you're a single dude who's like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody else.
That's why I asked him if he got wife and kids.
Yeah. I mean,
single dude, but who cares?
I mean, it's tough. Even if you're the single dude, if you want a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you go out at night.
Yeah.
Actually, no, during the day.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah. So you can have a lot of lunches.
Yeah, a lot of coffee dates in the morning. Yeah, but listen, the data. I mean, just straight up, like the
tough.
data. You do everything perfect. It's just not healthy.
Yeah,
it's a big not healthy thing.
You have a schedule like that, you might as well live in the basement.
Yep.
Like that's
tough.
Our next caller is Neha from California.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello.
Hi everyone, happy holidays.
Same. How can we help you?
Oh, I must first say that it's surreal. You will not believe 2 of my resolutions for this year was one to finish the MAPS anabolic program, and the other one was to ask you a question. And I'm so glad I get to finish both of them this year.
Oh, good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
I'll go ahead and read my email.
Okay.
Hi, Mind Pump. To start off, I must say I love your podcast. As an Indian-born woman, I find it very interesting to hear your perspective and find your advice informative and sometimes outright hilarious. And I've previously gone from 151 to 128 pounds unhealthily in 2018 when I hired a young trainer who put me on a 1200 calorie diet and made me believe that fat was bad for me. I still have hormonal acne from it, so I have recovered, but it has done trauma on me. So as you can imagine, I gained all that weight back, and especially I was going through stresses of graduate school. So it was natural that I would get it all back. So my current situation now, I'm a 32-year-old, 5 feet tall female weighing around 148.4 pounds and 34.1 body fat percent. This is measured using my scale at home, which might be wrong. And I started MAPS anabolic program on July 1st when I was 149.4 pounds and similar body fat percentage. I borrowed this program from a friend a couple of years ago. I should say I gave it a try, total of 3 times, and I failed because I could not do like 3 times a week or 2 times a week without getting hurt. But this year I could happily finish it. And I really enjoyed pre-phase and saw strength gains in phase 1. But after that, I injured my neck and upper back and had to take a couple of weeks off and do mobility and stretching. So phase 3 was too much for me, and I had to do a 2-day-a-week version. Also note that I'm increasing my grip strength and just achieved a 10-second body weight dead hang on October 24th. So this was also one of my 2025 resolutions, to do a 10-second dead hang. And I finished the MAPS anabolic program on November 9th at exactly the same weight I started at 148.4 pounds and 34.1 body fat percent. And I'm currently consuming around 2,000 calories and burning around 2,100. No cardio, I just do 10K steps a day. And as you can see, I'm in a very moderate deficit, 100 calories per day, which might be the reason I did not lose body fat or weight. I should mention, I skipped all of the calf raises and also shoulder shrugs because of my neck and shoulder injuries. So going forward, I would like to start MAPS performance to ensure I can rehabilitate my back. And I'm planning to go on a deficit of 16 to 1700 calories starting on November 12th, which I did. And you have the first 5 days of the MAPS performance on YouTube, which is what I was following. I basically do the 3 foundational days and I repeat the 2 mobilities every alternate day. And I'm almost about to finish the first phase. I was about to buy a program, but I did not know which one to do. So it's perfect that I'm talking to you now. So currently I feel very flabby and I'm not used to feeling this heavy at 148 pounds. My happy place typically is around 125 to 130 pounds. That's where I feel the best in my body. And that's something I would like to achieve, around 130 pounds with 25% body fat. I haven't been that for a long time and I feel very flabby. Can you recommend how I can go on a cut while ensuring I don't hurt my neck? My neck injury is because of loading the squat rack wrong on my neck 3 years ago. So I did, I think, 120 pound squats. Then I went home and I got up at 3 in the morning with my right side of the neck and shoulder swelled up because I'm pretty sure I did something wrong there. So I would like to be conscious of not loading things on my back until I rehabilitate it completely. And I'm currently not at all confident. All of my squats that I do, deadlifts are completely with dumbbells. So currently I can do a 45-pound dumbbell squat, but I would like to make progress on the strengths and start loading my back again very safely. So I wanted to see what advice you can give me. And another interesting thing is that I commute to work driving 2 hours every day, and I also strain my neck because of that. So I do mobility stretches like morning and evening, but is there something else that I could do to make sure that I am on the right path for 2026?
Neha, have you ever worked in person with a trainer or correctional exercise specialist?
I have actually gone to in-person trainer. This was the wrong person I hired in 2018. So that was bad. After that, it turned me off a little. Then I went to physical therapy a year and a half ago when I injured my neck and back.
Okay.
And that was very helpful. They basically gave me like foam roller exercises, the angel hand movements and stuff, which was great, which is what I do till now. And I also do the wall circles that you have on your YouTube.
Good.
How long did you work with a physical therapist? What did that look like?
It was around 3 months.
Okay.
And it was basically like heat pads followed by stretches.
Okay.
And him mentioning that I should not do any overhead presses for a while.
Okay.
So I should not pick anything up above my shoulders because my muscle patterns are all wrongly trained to protect my neck from that injury.
Got it. Yep. Correctional exercise would benefit you a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need a specialist to work with you for a little while because there's a movement pattern issue that can probably get corrected. Right. But until it gets corrected, this is going to be
got to go to the root.
A repeating issue. Like the fact that your neck hurts you when you drive tells me that we need some correctional exercise. You're not near us, are you? Are you in the San Jose, California area? Are you
I'm
far
in
away
Santa Barbara, so just 4 hours down.
Okay. So I'm going to have Doug refer you to a good friend of ours, and he's the best exercise specialist, correctional exercise specialist I know. He also works virtually, and he does a good job virtually. And so we're going to send you his contact. He's the best. Like I've never met anybody as good as him.
Hands down.
He's also very familiar with all of our MAPS programs. So after he does correctional work with you, he'll recommend the right direction for MAPS also.
Yeah, but I think you're probably
start there though. Yeah,
I think you'll start there, and I think a MAPS 15 protocol will probably be your best option.
MAPS 15 or symmetry is what I was thinking.
Or symmetry.
Yeah. He'll send you on that. We'll take care of the program. But Brink needs to do some of the work with you first. That's where this will set you up for success.
Yeah. Now, nutrition-wise, I think if you're doing proper strength training, what we want to do is build strength and muscle, which will set you up well for the fat loss. Yeah. Your calories aren't bad, but to cut from 2,000 calories, we're going to hit a plateau
fast,
and then you're going to be stuck at 1,400 calories at some point.
Yeah.
And then where do we go from there,
Yeah, 2,000 calories does seem like a lot though. So like during the holidays, I was eating around 2,500 calories for the week and I felt really bad like the entire time.
It also depends what the calories are. But here's the thing. It's not that 2,000 calories are high. It's that I would like you to fall to 2,000 calories for your cut.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So a good reverse diet with strength training will help do that. But the problem is, for us to build muscle, we're going to need progressive overload. We're going to need a level of intensity. But if we don't figure out what's causing the upper back and neck pain, that's going to keep getting in the way as you get stronger. So you'll progress, and then you'll hurt. And then we got to back down again. And
Dr. Brink's going to be able to help you. This is his specialty. This is he's going to give you movements, stuff to do every day, and you continue to work on that, and you're going to start to notice how much better you feel. And then we talk about, okay, how do we load the bar again? How do we start pushing the weight? And then we increase the calories to Sal's point.
With really good strength training.
Yeah, but first we do the correctional work. That's what we want to do first.
He's the best. I've never worked with anybody better than him. And I've worked with a lot of really good people.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And I must say, like, I listen to you guys like every other day, like whenever your podcast drops, I'm the first person to listen to. And my husband goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just listening to the guys, like while I'm making coffee and stuff." So I should say I took your advice for reverse dieting seriously. Like at the beginning of anabolic program, my maintenance was 1,800 and I went all the way to 2,200, all because of you.
Oh, good.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Good. But we'll be in contact because Brink will tell us what you need, and then we'll just hook you up.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys.
Right. You got it.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
You too. Yeah, I'm glad we got. Well, first off, it obviously sucks that she's got something going on there. And I asked her about physical therapy because here's my experience with physical therapy. First of all, physical therapists are incredible at correctional exercise. That being said,
they turn
loose. In the clinical setting, oftentimes they're dealing with multiple people.
6 people,
and they go, "You do this, you do that, you do this," and it's like, no. What you need?
There's no plan after it either.
And you need specially like someone to look at you, watch your movement pattern, correct it in the not just leave you to do here, put this on, do that, type of. And 3 months sounds like a long time. But I bet a lot of that was on her own with just like, hey, do this and whatever.
Well, you've heard me talk about on the show how when I fired mine, I didn't tell mine that I was a personal trainer and then I knew this stuff. And I remember they put me in this this is when I was rehabbing the ACL, MCL. And one of the we're coming by leg extensions with weights on my ankles. Then I do ball squats, and I'm doing ball squats, and the the physical therapist walks away. Oh, do that for 2 minutes and then walks away.
Exactly.
And it's like, now I know as a trainer that as I squat down, when I've got an injury like that, the natural thing is going to be shift my weight over to my strong side.
Yeah.
But I know that I got
average person's not going to know that.
Yeah, they're not going to know that. They're just going to go up and down, and then now they create this pattern that's going to the stronger side dominates, and then they can't figure out why they have low back pain.
Just use momentum.
Yeah, so you see that a lot, and it's not a knock on physical therapists.
No.
It's just that a lot of times they put them in these.
It's the system designs it that way.
Yeah.
I had an incredible physical therapist that worked in my studio, but she left that setting and went private precisely because of that.
Yes.
And the results she got with people were just, miraculous. They were mind blowing. And Dr. Brink's he's so good. So it's like, you want to build muscle and strength. If you need correctional exercise and you don't address that first, it ain't going to happen. Well, no. The second you get stronger, you're going to get hurt.
The problem gets worse.
And it's just going to keep happening.
It's like trying to build a house with no foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try and
build a
slap
house on
bunch of-
sand.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. One of the keys to fat loss is protein. It's true. If you're not eating a high-protein diet, you're not going to burn as much body fat as you can. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about the smartest ways to use protein for fat burn and to build muscle. You got to watch this.
I wish I understood this earlier in my career. I think it was probably almost 10 years in when I started to just focus on this with clients.
I knew it was important,
Yeah.
but I don't know how important.
Yeah, I knew it was important, but I also didn't